I'm a recovering drug addict and an alcoholic, a person in long-time recovery. I'm a survivor. Pick a label. I don't mind. My drug of choice is more or yes. I love pot, pills, cocaine, crank, mushrooms, LSD, ecstasy, heroin, nitrous oxide, whiskey, gin, beer, and a whole lot more. Yes, please. More of whatever you've got. For me, it's a family disease, something that's been passed down through my genes, and something I've passed on too. Yet I was raised in a non-alcoholic home by loving parents who gave me a happy and secure childhood. On June 26, 2006, I was a broken and isolated man who no longer wanted to live, who couldn't imagine life drunk or sober, who just couldn't imagine living anymore. Today, I've lived over 10 years without a mind-altering drug or drink.
It's 100 miles, roughly. And how long do you have to run 100 miles?
So that's a good question. That describes what kind of race you're running. Because each race has a cutoff time period. We talked about Barkley. I don't know. You've got a lot of hours to finish Barkley, right? Because it's a really difficult race. Another incredibly difficult race in the U.S. is Hard Rock. I think you get 48 hours to finish Hard Rock. It's in the San Juan Mountains of Colorado with some 14,000 foot type stuff. Superior, which is one of the harder races, has a 38-hour cutoff. Some easier races may have like a 24-hour cutoff, meaning you have that much time to complete the race. So you can kind of get a sense of the difficulty of the course by how long you're allowed to run it.
Do you mind talking a little bit about how this running relates to your sobriety and how maybe you came to that point or how they intersected?
Absolutely. How does the running is a big piece of my recovery. It's not something I depend on for my recovery. When I say recovery, I mean recovery from alcohol and drug abuse, or addiction rather. Running can't be the answer to my recovery because I'm going to get injured. I'm going to get hurt. The running might not always be there, but it is good therapy. And I find that at these races of ultra long distances, there are many people like me there. So I have many friends in recovery. I have many friends in long running. And then if you want to think of the Venn diagram, I have some really great friends of that place where those two things intersect. And there are tons of people where those two things intersect. It seems as if we talked about the question, what's wrong with you, that you would run 100 miles. I find that there is a lot of people who deal with mental illness, with addiction, eating disorder, those kind of things, drawn to that long running game, probably because it takes an obsessive type of mind, probably because you really have to get to know yourself. And here's something I think is interesting. Some people will say, oh, you're exchanging addictions. You know, you gave up booze, you picked up running. I ran through my last drunk. So I can't say that that's true. I was always putting masks on. I didn't even want to know who I was when I was using. I didn't want to face who I was and those hard truths. When I'm out on mile 80, I've pulled off every possible mask that I might possibly wear. I'm getting down to the core of who I am. And so there's that sort of dichotomy too, if you will. Running doesn't keep me sober. That's not how this works. But it does help me connect to that spiritual life, which keeps me sober. When I'm running well, I'm floating, barely touching the earth. I'm doing what I was made to do, no matter how awkward or ungraceful my form is. I am motion interacting with the elements. I am one with all that is. I can't think of a better way to spend an empty day than on the trails. Running is my prayer, a way of finding gratitude. Running trails is my meditation. It puts me more in the present moment than anything I do. I love the solitude of running long and the humility of running ultramarathons.